Well, so if you ever needed any proof that Hyundai has nailed it in terms of styling, then the all-new Elantra is it. In fact, this car looks so stylish and has a certain wow factor. If you hide the badge over here, it really does resemble a very posh and upmarket premium German brand. Well, which brand am I talking about? You can figure that out and write it in the comment section below. But I'll stop talking now and allow the visuals of this car to do all the talking. Well, so as soon as you step inside the cabin of the new Elantra, you really will be wowed with the styling, because it's a very European looking cabin. It's a very posh and upmarket place to sit in, and you get a very premium feel as well. Well, in terms of practicality, it's a good place to be in because you get this huge box which can house your cell phone, your wallet, as well as your sunglasses, and it also has a USB port in it. You also get these two big bottle holders over here where you can keep a big 1 liter bottle, and even the door bins are large enough to house that bottle in them. So overall, a great place for practicality as well as space. Well, not only is it a stylish place to be in, but it's also a very comfortable place because the seats offer you excellent support for the lower back. The seat scob is wide as well cushioned, and there's also bolstering for the sides, which means that if you are someone who enjoys enthusiastic driving, then if you push this car into the corner, the seats will hold you well. Well, Hyundai has always been at the forefront of offering you a lot of equipment as well as features, and it's no different with the all-new Elantra. You get a lot of equipment in this car, including an 8-inch touchscreen over here, which also has the infotainment system as well as the GPS maps, and also doubles up as the viewfinder for the reverse parking camera. Well, apart from that big 8-inch screen, you also get dual zone climate control. You also get ventilated seats over here. The front two seats are ventilated, and you also get hill climb assist as well as a lot of other features. Well, and to know all the features on this car, head to our website by clicking on this link over here and finding them out for yourself. Well, so here I'm in the back seat of the all-new Elantra, and as you can see, headroom is more than adequate, and that's because Hyundai engineers have scooped the roof over here, so that gives me an additional couple of inches. And what that means is that for anyone who's even 6 feet in height, it should not really be too much of an issue. I am 5'10" for reference, and I have adjusted the front seats as always for my driving position, and even then knee room is more than adequate, and the seats are comfortable as well. The backrest angle is very good, and overall build quality is excellent as well. The best part about the Elantra is that the floorboard over here is almost flat, and that along with its width at the back means that this is a genuine 3-seater. But of course, if you don't really want to use it as a 3-seater, you can pull this armrest out and maybe put a Diet Coke over here and enjoy that long highway trip. Well, one of the most thoughtful features that Hyundai have put on the new Elantra is the fact that if you have your hands full with a couple of bags and the keys in your pocket but the car is locked, all you need to do is just stand here behind the boot and it will open up in a couple of seconds. It's actually a very thoughtful feature and very convenient if you are someone who usually ends up buying a lot of stuff at the shopping mall. Well, talking about the boot, it's a very well-shaped boot. As you can see, it's got a very wide aperture, which means that you can haul in that big load without too much of an issue. The only thing is that there's a bit of a ridge over here, and the bumper is protruding quite a bit. And what that means is that if you have a heavy object to load in, you will have to put your back into it. But other than that, the Elantra's boot is par for course for the segment. Well, so if I had to summarize the performance and engines on this car in one line, then that one line would be, it is very, very good indeed, and that's all I have to say about it. Oh, sorry, you want me to do a full review about the details? Okay, so here I go. So here I am driving the all-new Hyundai Elantra, and remember this car comes with 2 engine options. There's a petrol and all-new petrol motor, which is a 2-liter petrol motor, and that engine makes about 150 bhp of power, which makes it more powerful than the Corolla Altis. Well, but if you are someone who drives a lot of kilometers every day, then the diesel option is the one to go for, and that engine of course is the tried and tested 1.6 liter CRDI engine, which makes about 126 bhp of power and is shared with both the Hyundai Verna as well as the Hyundai Creta SUV. Well, with each passing generation of cars, not only do Hyundai engineers try to make the cars look much more stylish, but they also make them feel a lot more dynamic to drive, and it's no different with the Elantra. The steering wheel is much more crisper than we've come to expect from most Hyundai cars, and much better than the last Elantra. And even though the steering wheel is pretty light for daily use in the city, it won't really tie you in the city, but on the highway it's not so light that you start feeling nervous or jittery. So in that sense, Hyundai seems to have got a good balance between city travel as well as highway duties on the Elantra. So Hyundai have improved the agility factor on this car by quite a bit, and the Elantra now does feel a lot more agile and a lot more happier to change lanes. And they have, of course, stiffened up the chassis of this car also by using a lot of new techniques as well as technologies. And even though most buyers in this segment don't really buy this kind of car for sheer driving thrills, it is good to know that the Elantra can put a small smile on your face every time you take it out for a spin. Well, both the diesel as well as the petrol motor are inherently refined, and even though the diesel engine has been around for a while, Hyundai have managed to improve on its refinement even further. So when you're cruising on the highway, the Elantra is doing speeds of say about 100 or 110 kph, and the engine is spinning at a very lazy 2000 rpm, which means that occupants at the back will really find it hard to tell what's powering this car, if it's a petrol or a diesel. Refinement levels are so good. Well, the stiffened up chassis as well as the stiffened up suspension now mean that the Elantra is a much better car for those long highway trips, because it feels much better planted than before. Well, talking about the diesel engine, there's a little bit of lag in terms of power delivery below 2000 rpm. It's only once you hit 2000 rpm that usable power starts coming in, but that's quite okay. Most of its other rivals, and in fact most diesel cars are like that, so that's something that you have to get used to. But once you do get in the right power band, this car will really accelerate quickly, and progress really is very brisk indeed. Well, talking about the petrol motor, as I just mentioned, refinement levels are absolutely phenomenal. But the good point about the engine is also that it starts responding from very low throttle inputs. So at around 1100-1200 rpm, that engine feels very lively as well as responsive. And with over 150 bhp of power, it really does feel very quick when you take it out on the highway, so you have to be a little careful. In terms of transmission options, the automatic 6-speed gearbox is pretty brisk and progress is pretty efficient, and it does not have any jerkiness in it, so in that sense it's a pretty good gearbox and really does take the hassle out of driving in tight bumper to bumper city traffic. While the manual gearboxes on both the diesel are very light, very efficient and very slick, and the light clutch as well as the light steering along with this huge glass area up ahead means that driving this car in the city is really a very easy affair. It's not really cumbersome to drive. So overall, not only in terms of cabin space as well as design, but even in terms of driving dynamics, the Hyundai Elantra really does feel very impressive, and I am impressed with this car. And I'm also impressed with the amount of progress that Hyundai has made in the dynamic department with the new Elantra. Well, so if you're in the market for an executive sedan, then the Elantra really does come across as the best all-rounder. It offers you the best cabin, it offers you a long list of features, and it also offers you posh as well as upmarket looks on the outside. All that along with Hyundai's after sales and service package means that this is the best car at the moment in this segment.